Good morning, everyone. Well, today is the last Sunday of my tenure as the Director of Religious Education at our church, First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston, where I've worked for 2 different time periods, serving the church for almost 20 years. So it's a big transition, certainly for me, but also for the religious education program and the whole church. And I look forward to our time together this morning to share some of the lessons that I've gained from being part of this community, either as the Director of Religious Education or as a member for about 40 years. And I appreciate the opportunity to stand in gratitude to this beloved community. And to this service of celebration and remembrance, we welcome all of you this morning, whether you are new or whether you've been here for years, whether you feel sad or whether you feel excited and full of joy. We welcome you to be here together to share an hour of reflection, singing, ideas, and just shared time. We are glad you are here. Welcome.
I invite you all to open your hymnals to number 347, Gather the Spirit. Please rise in body or in spirit, and let's lift our voices in song together.
This morning's call to worship was written by Robert French Levins. Holy and beautiful the custom which brings us together in the presence of the Most High, to face our ideals, to remember our loved ones in absence, to give thanks, to make confession, to offer forgiveness, to be enlightened and to be strengthened. Through this quiet hour breathes the worship of ages, the cathedral music of history. 3 unseen guests attend: faith, hope, and love. Let all our hearts prepare them place.
Celebremos compartiendo nuestras vidas, encendiendo esa luz.
Please join with me in reading the covenant found in the order of service. Love is the spirit of our congregation. Service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to encourage one another. Thus do we covenant.
This morning, we intentionally made an error in the order of service. The choir and string band are not going to sing This Little Light of Mine. We're actually surprising Carol. Well, this is the second service, so it's not really a surprise anymore. But our intention was to surprise Carol and sing a song that she wrote and is on her recent recording. And it's called Blessed Be, and it's by Carol Burris.
Wearing glasses. So now we've reached a part in the service where we're going to give Carol a blessing. Carol, you first began serving as a religious educator for the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston in 1996, almost 3 decades ago. Since that time, you can applaud now if you want. It's always as the Spirit moves you, right? Since in that time, you've had 2 rounds of service with the congregation and dedicated close to 20 years of your working life with us. You've encouraged hundreds of children as they've grown into adults. You've supported parents in the development of Unitarian Universalist family values. You've created space for adults to explore and deepen their spirituality. You've trained volunteers, inspired the congregation to deepen its commitment to ecological justice, shared your musical gifts, and provided pastoral care. You've done much more, helping the congregation to weather storms, endure transitions, and move through a global pandemic. Today, we come together to celebrate your retirement. Your work has blessed so many. So in that spirit, we will now come together to bless you with the ancient rite of the laying on of hands, so that you in turn may be blessed by many. This rite is meant to be a physical manifestation of a blessing that comes from all of us, this congregation, your family, your friends, on the occasion of your retirement. So I'm going to place my hand on your shoulder, and I invite everyone else gathered here to come forward and either place a hand on Carol or place a hand on someone who is connected to her. Please move forward in silence. Please move forward in silence, and if you wish, so that we can share the sacredness of this moment. I invite the gathered community to envision sending love and blessing to Carol, having love and blessings flow through you as I say these words from John O'Donohue. This is where your life has arrived. After all the years of effort and toil, look back with graciousness and thanks on all your great and quiet achievements. Stand on the shore of a new invitation to open your life to what is left undone. Let your heart enjoy a different rhythm when drawn to the wonder of other horizons. Have the courage for a new approach to time. Allow it to slow until you find freedom. To draw alongside the mystery you hold and befriend your own beauty of soul. Now is the time to enjoy your heart's desire, to live the dreams you've waited for, to awaken the depths beyond your work, and enter into your infinite source. Many blessings upon you, Carol Burris, as you enter this next phase of your life. May it be filled with much beauty, joy, celebration, and time for creativity, family, friends, and rest. And let the congregation say, Amen.
Amen.
It's amazing to look around and see people from long ago who have come back, it's wonderful. Thank you all for being here, friends and family, and new friends from this church, new friends from my life, and this beloved church community. It's amazing. So I invite you, when you get to your seat, to close your eyes for a moment and imagine someone in your life who's been a teacher or a mentor, someone who you've appreciated and who's helped you in some way, or just someone that you really liked for some reason. And remember why you appreciated this person and how you felt in their presence. A teacher or mentor in your life. And stay with that teacher for a moment. And now have that teacher step to the left side of your mind's eye, just for a moment, for another imagining. And now I invite you to think of another teacher or mentor you had. Maybe it was from very early in your life, or if you're older, then maybe possibly later, like in high school or any time. And this person might have even been a neighbor or a friend who taught you something important. Remember why you appreciated them and how you felt in their presence. We have these two mentors, teachers in our mind's eye. And I'll bet that even though they share the quality of being meaningful to you, that they are different in many ways. I bet they offered you different gifts and had different personalities. We'll take a moment to appreciate both of these mentors and how they brought something important to your life. And as I leave my position as the Director of Religious Education and someone new comes into the church's life to play that role, I know we'll remember that these teachers, our leaders, do not have to have the same gifts. Each leader has different offerings and talents and personalities. They get things done in different ways. So I invite you now to stand in body or in spirit, and we're going to hold out our arms. So stand in body and spirit. We're going to hold out our arms, so look around you and make sure that you're not going to accidentally whack someone, yeah. So now close your eyes again. Put your hands on your heart. We're going to open our arms up in a minute. Sorry. So close your eyes again for a moment, if you wish, and imagine yourself opening up your heart. You're invited to open up your heart to a new path and a new phase. It might be in your own personal life, but also in the path of religious education at this church. And perhaps you feel your heart opening up a little bit and then a little bit more. And now from your heart, you can use your arms to open your arms forward from your heart, or out, or up, whatever feels right to you. Your heart is expanding. Feel your heart open more as you open your arms, allowing yourself to be open to the future. Of course, some things will stay the same. Lots of familiar faces in our volunteers. The same rituals set up for the next year. These are our foundations, our roots. But let us suggest this morning that our hearts will be open to the new. The roots hold me close, and wings set me free. And now I invite you to put your hands back over your heart, open your eyes, and when you're ready, return to sitting on your pew. And I end our time for all ages this morning with this thought. We have held in our mind's eye 2 mentors in our life, each with their own gifts, each making a difference. And we know that change is a part of life, and different ways of creating the future are possible and good. May it be so. And now we'll sing the children. You'll find the words to this song in the order of service.
Sophia Lyon Fawes was an editor, author, teacher, and religious activist who led a revolution in Unitarian religious education. She wrote, "The religious way is the deep way, the way that sees what physical eyes alone fail to see, the intangibles of the heart of every phenomenon. The religious way is the way that touches universal relationships, that goes high, wide, and deep, that expands the feelings of kinship. This is the time when we quiet our minds and seek to go high, wide, and deep, a chance to touch universal relationships and expand our feelings of kinship. This is a time that some call meditation and others name prayer. Let your body settle into a comfortable place. Deeply inhale, then slowly exhale as you continue mindful, rhythmic breathing. Open your mind, open your heart. God of many names and mystery beyond all our naming, we give thanks for all those who work to make the church a vibrant and vital place in the lives of others. Today we lift up those who have been called to minister to our children and youth. In a difficult world of distraction and overwhelming choices, we give thanks for those who guide our next generation. May they teach them to think with both their minds and their hearts, and to find a spiritual path that sustains them and leads them to become ever more thoughtful and kind. William Ellery Channing told us, "The great end in religious instruction is not to stamp our minds upon the young, but to stir up their own, not to make them see with our eyes, but to look inquiringly and steadily with their own. In a word, the great end is to awaken the soul, to excite and cherish spiritual life." We give thanks for all those who help to stir up the minds of our children and youth. May they understand the important and lingering role they play in these young lives. Grant them patience, understanding, creativity, and insight. May the young learn from the adults to be inquisitive, compassionate, and kind. And may the adults learn from the fresh perspectives and wisdom of the young. It is Pride Month, and the politics of cruelty are escalating. Just days ago, both chambers of the Texas legislature passed a bill banning students from forming LGBTQ+ focused groups like GSAs in schools. But this is a place of acceptance. This is a place where young people are accepted no matter their sexual identity. This is a place where youth can bond with others who may also feel out of step at school. This is a place where those of any age who do not feel safe being themselves in other places may come and be welcomed for who they are. We give thanks that we are able to be that beacon of welcome and acceptance. We pray in the names of all those known and unknown, present and absent, remembered and forgotten. We pray in the names of all helpers of humankind. Amen. We pause now together to lift up that which sits heavy and light on our hearts. Please continue to hold Remington Alessi and his family in your hearts as he receives treatment in Dallas for his health challenges. We lost two preeminent scholars of the Hebrew Bible on Thursday. Tony Craven was Emerita Professor of Hebrew Bible at Bright Divinity School, my alma mater, where she taught for 32 years. Walter Brueggemann was widely considered one of the most influential scholars of the last several decades and the most prolific Old Testament author of the last 7 decades. And, if I can get to it, in the book, which we place in the foyer so that as you enter, you may write your joys and concerns, we read, Ava Saunders, who has mental health challenges, Marcellus Sampson, who is facing incarceration, the clashes in Los Angeles where the peaceful protesters are finding that the military has been called to squelch their efforts, the immigrants who have been deported to terrible destinations, and prayers for this person's friend Jill Morgenstern and her family. We now turn to a practice inspired by African, indigenous, and pagan traditions. We say aloud or bring to mind those who we wish to be held by the loving embrace of this religious community. They are part of the great cloud of witness and memory, and we will, even if we do not know their names, hold them in our hearts. In this great cloud of witness and memory, amid this beloved community, we hear these names and hold them in our hearts. Let us remember the suffering and joy amid and among our community that we do not know. We now enter into a time of stillness. Deepak Chopra wrote, "Silence is the great teacher, and to learn its lessons, you must pay attention to it." There is no substitute for the creative inspiration, knowledge, and stability that come from knowing how to contact your core of inner silence. We now seek to embrace our inner silence. In the spirit of love, hope, and compassion, we enter into a time of silent prayer, meditation, and transformation.
quiet of this place, let this moment fill with grace. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. May the sense of mystery guide us through our journey. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. This is my prayer.
Our morning offering is shared each week with an organization that shares our Unitarian Universalist values and through which we may live out our principles in the world. Today, our shared offering will go to the Trans Legal Aid Clinic of Texas. The number of ways and number of bills Texas politicians have proposed to deny the dignity and rights of transgender people is horrifying in its scope. Trans Legal Aid Clinic of Texas is a nonprofit, volunteer-run organization. Trans Legal Aid offers free help for trans and non-binary Texans changing their names and/or gender on legal documents. Funds will directly help trans and non-binary Texans obtain a legal transition. Those in our sanctuary will find the instructions for text giving in the order of service next to the name of the shared offering recipient. And those watching the live stream will see the instructions on your screen. Our regular Sunday morning offering collection invites us to weave a tapestry of love and action. We ask you to give generously. An offering will now be gratefully received.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we
Please join with me in the words to dedicate our offering that can be found in your order of service. To the work of this church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives, and these are offerings.
Our first reading this morning is an excerpt from the book Rest is Resistance, a manifesto by Tricia Hersey. People are waking up. People are waking up. People are waking up to the truth of their manipulation under toxic systems. People are waking up to heal. People are waking up to rest. We will no longer be a martyr for grind culture. Grind culture is a collaboration between white supremacy and capitalism. It views our divine bodies as machines. Our worth is not connected to how much we produce. Another way is possible. Our shared history is one of extreme disconnection and denial. We ignore our body's need to rest, and in doing so, we lose touch with spirit. In our bodies, we have our temples. It is the only thing we own. Our bodies are a tool agent for change, a site for liberation. Our bodies know. The time to rest is now. Our collective rest will change the world because our rest resides in a spirit of refusal and disruption. Rest is our protest. Rest is resistance. Rest is reparations. I remain grateful for the mystery of the unknown, experimentation, and the constant demand for liberation, no matter what the systems have told us. Grateful for our divinity that we can tap into no matter what we are living through. Grateful for the metaphysical, the telepathic, and the deep knowing that our worth is not connected to how much labor we can withstand. This rest message is a message of power over oppression. Rest is a balm. We will rest. Here ends the first reading.
The second reading is an excerpt from Light Eaters, How the Unseen World of Plant Intelligence Offers a New Understanding of Life on Earth by Zoe Schlanger. Regardless of what we think of plants, they continue to surge upward toward the sun. In the ruined global moment, plants offer a window into a verdant way of thinking. For us to truly be part of this world, to be awake to its rolling liveliness, we need to understand plants. They suffuse our atmosphere with oxygen we breathe, and they quite literally build our bodies out of sugar that they spin from sunlight. They made the ingredients that first allowed our lives to blink into existence at all. Yet they are not merely utilitarian supply machines. They have complex, dynamic lives of their own, social lives, sex lives, and a whole suite of subtle sensory appreciations we mostly assume to be only the domain of animals. What's more, they sense things that we cannot even imagine and occupy a world of information that we cannot see. Here ends the second reading.
I now invite you to open your hymnals once again to number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song, We will sing verses 1 and 2. Please rise in body or spirit as we lift our voices together. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing?
In 1985, when I first came to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston, it was when a colleague told me that a feminist group met here. It was the Houston Women's Group that started in 1975 that just celebrated their 50th anniversary a couple of Sundays ago. Woohoo! In 1985, though, I came into a room stuffed with women of all ages, talking about the ways being a woman affected our lives, and hearing speakers who had new ideas about creating a way forward that was fair and just. And then before long, I began coming downstairs afterwards to the service to listen to Bob Shibley, the senior minister at that time. He was a practicing Buddhist and openly gay. Both of these aspects of Reverend Shibley were celebrated. His messages that brought together personal stories, spiritual ideas, New York Times articles, and psychology ideas were meaningful, and I would sometimes cry because I was a bit lost at sea being in this crazy urban center in the 80s. And in 1989, I brought my future husband, Charlie Burris, some of you may know him, to the church one Sunday morning in December when they were having Dixieland music for the whole service. And Charlie said, and I quote, "I could go to this church." So we did, and we've come almost every Sunday since. And that's the beginning of my story of coming to this church and then raising our children here. Charlie and I started playing music here early on. And then in 1986, I became director of religious education. 1996, I became director of religious education for the first time with a wonderful colleague who shared it with me, Kristen Fair. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about this morning is who else was at church at that time. There were many other people, and what that meant to me in my 20s. I want to talk about the church elders. Lots of folks in their 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. And I can only mention a few here, or we would be here all day, because I have lots of memories in my head. But there were Thelma and Saul Meltzer. Thelma was a greeter. Some of you will remember some of these people, which is so lovely. Thelma was a greeter, part of the welcome team, offering her warm smile. I can see her loving, round face and her big, flowery dresses. She was involved in giving money and time to the newly budding row houses that were started by Rick Lowe, as well as to other local organizations involving neighbors in need and the arts. And when I was pregnant with my firstborn, even though neither Charlie and I knew Thelma all that well, she showed up one Sunday with a gift. It was a book written by her favorite OB-GYN about the things new parents needed to know. And it was a very helpful book. And she said she noticed that I was going to have a baby and wanted me to have this book. After that, well, we felt a part of the community. Her husband, Saul, grew herbs that he sold at high-end restaurants. And once a year, he brought 100 or more little herbs to sell in his famous herb cell that raised money for the church. And there were other role models, so many, like Emily and Andrew Ladner. Emily was a poet. She co-wrote the hymn, "The Fabric of This Church," with our longtime organist, Bob Frizzackerly, for the last decade or so of her life, which is when I knew her. She would write silly, fun rhymes about people when it was their birthday. But when she died, I went to her memorial service, and some of her poems were shared, and I realized that she wrote deep, wonderful, well-crafted poetry, and I was wowed. And Emily's husband, Andrew, was another elder that I cherished. Imagine a very small man with wispy hair who wore suspenders, and he often wore a button pinned to his suspenders that said, "Question authority." And as a 20-something, I was looking at this white old man, and I thought, well, if he isn't the authority, who is? Well, over time, we learn. Some of the younger elders at that time were Ken and Sue Steinhardt, who are right here, still part of our church. They are a couple that inspired a line in one of my songs about growing wise and knowing what to say when there is trouble. And there are many of you out there. I wish I could mention everybody. Thank you, everyone. And there were Dina and Jean Stucker, who had multiple cycling adventures in Europe and the United States, continuing as they aged into their 60s. We were inspired. And we had members of the congregation who marched at Selma, John Howard and our former minister, Bob Shibley. And I want to add that there have been people in my life who are wonderful role models that go beyond this church community. I have been fortunate to have very loving parents who are still alive today and who are watching by live stream this morning. And they have provided role models for me as well. In so many ways, of course, that it's impossible to say here, but I would highlight great support in all my endeavors since I was born. That's big. And a family life filled with music. Watching elders in this church community was important to me in my 20s and a tremendous gift. I looked around and I saw people leading simple, meaningful lives. Quirky, loving people wearing buttons and giving books and baking pies and offering things at the auction and writing poems and marching, riding their bikes on long tours, and most importantly, questioning authority. The kind of authority that squashes freedom, the kind of authority that pushes money to the top and fails everyday folks, the kind of authority that wants racism to come back rising wave and is selfish and doesn't have our best interest at heart. We are still that community today, the kind that questions that kind of authority, the kind that defunds science and doesn't want renewable energy to try to help save our planet and wants to lie in the pockets of the wealthy and the powerful. A community like this provides us role models. Now, some may say that a small life focused around a small group or a church or a school or a little nonprofit is embarrassingly unimportant, and I strongly disagree. The truth is, there are only a few people whose great works rise to be part of history writ large, right? Most humans live their lives affecting those around them in small but profound ways. I recommend that we pay attention to the small heroes in our midst, to the elders who are living their lives and giving back to show us the way. And sometimes it's the young people. We'll watch them too. The role models for service and a life well lived. Let's pretend we have a glass right now. Let's lift our glasses, give a toast to those in our lives, past and present, who have shown us a path forward in this painfully broken world. Hear, hear. But we must discern who those role models are, right? Because good grief, there are people who follow the Kardashians. This is part of our culture. And the truth is, some of my role models are actually plants. Stay with me here. Plants are resilient and amazing and adaptable and intelligent. We could do worse in choosing our role models. In the reading this morning by Zoe Schlanger, she says, in this ruined global moment, plants offer a window into a verdant way of thinking. For us to be truly part of this world, to be awake to its roiling aliveness, we need to understand plants. I love the idea of expanding our philosophy of life to include non-human role models. We, after all, are way too human-centric. Of course, we understand why we are, and it's hard to move beyond it. But I'm suggesting here that it is possible to be awed by plants and to have them as role models. It is an antidote to the Kardashians, which is worth it alone. Plants share nutrients. They inform neighbors when trouble is coming. They adjust to environmental conditions. Despite being in one place rooted, they find many ways to expand. And their seeds can survive by going dormant for years and waiting until the right moment, a moment when there is enough sun and water and good soil to thrive. So besides role models, I want to talk about two other important gifts I've gained from being part of this church community for all these many years. One is about finding grounding, and the other is about engaging in spiritual practice. Our larger culture has many toxic parts, like a focus on unattainable beauty, a definition of success focused on material gain, and the use of power and money over people. These are not values I share, and I reject them. But when the culture around us fills the air and the soil with these messages, we cannot avoid soaking them up a little bit. We need antidotes. We need good soil to grow in. We need to find the grounding that supports a soulful path. We need a place that provides messages of inclusion and hope and opportunities to give and relationships of support and deep conversations about the meaning of life. Our lives need meaning. Here is one sad story of our time. Let's say a friend spends all their energy day in and day out getting ready for work, commuting to work, putting in a full or longer day at work, commuting home, eating a frozen dinner heated in the microwave, falling into bed and doing it all again. And let's add, just to make it worse, that this dear friend works in a cubicle with no access to outside light, barely makes a livable wage, and the people in charge are getting wealthy off their back. It's a horrible existence, and while this story is a particularly bleak one, it is one that many of us can relate to in some way or another. If we need grounding and meaning to have a good life, we cannot allow this to be the story of our time. It is true that the powers that be have us in a vice grip. We need money to live, and we cannot control, at least most of us cannot control, the jobs that exist or what they pay. If there's some of you out there who can do that, do the right thing. But we can shift our way of thinking, and we can refuse for our souls to be poisoned by these ideas. I am inspired by the words of our first reading by Tricia Hershey. Our bodies are not machines. We can resist. We can take back our dream space. We can search for truth and meaning alongside our friends, whether that be at church or in small groups of friends, anywhere, but we need it no matter where the soil for our grounding can be found. It might be found in a drum circle, or a knitting circle, or with a group of friends making music. It could be with a friend that meets regularly with us for dinner to talk about the meaning of life. It could mean getting together with people to create art. Grounding in good soil does matter. Role models do matter. And my last reflection this morning is on things that I've learned being part of this community that have to do with spiritual practice. There are many, but I will mention just a few that I've actually done myself and offer as a possibility if you don't have your own spiritual practice that you're loving right now, because you can go through many of them and enjoy them all. This one is when you're walking. So you're going on a walk, and there's a memory of thinking of things that start with S's. There are 6 things that start with S that can help you on your walk to pay attention. So the first one is, what do I see? The next one is you look up at the sky, see sky. The next one is pay attention to what you sense on or in your body. You might feel the wind in your hair, on your skin. You might feel something inside. And your stance, feel your body against the earth, upright. We stand upright. And notice smells and sounds. So what do I see? Look at the sky. What do I sense? Feel your stance. Notice the smells. Notice the sounds. Attention to the world around us. Awareness of ourselves as an animal on the earth. To me, these are spiritual connections. And when I return from my walk, I feel more grounded, more rooted, more connected. Another spiritual practice is living out our values and working with others to make the world a better place. Caring for children, donating, going on a march to protest, providing deep listening for a friend. These are all part of the mosaic of changing the world to be a better place. No one has to do it alone. No one can do it alone. And each small effort matters. We learned from Natalie Brown that memorizing poems is a great way to focus the mind and feel spiritually focused. Our children have done this multiple times and shared it here in this sanctuary, like this Mary Oliver poem, Why I Wake Early, that some of you learned a couple of years ago. And if you know it by heart, say it with me. It's a great way to start the day. Hello, sun on my face. Hello, you who made the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories, and into the windows of even the miserable and crotchety. Best preacher that ever was, dear star that just happens to be where you are in the universe, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. And I couldn't talk to you today without talking about the spiritual practice of singing. We can sing songs from the church, any lyrics you find anywhere that hold up your beliefs and values. Singing songs like Spirit of Life. You can sing it by yourself, in your car. You can sing it with your family or with everyone. You know, like here. Maybe we'll sing it now. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. This morning I've held up the benefit of role models, maybe even plants, the importance of finding our own grounding, and the making time for spiritual care and rest. I also hope that you feel these gifts or find other gifts that help you thrive. There have been more learnings than these over 40 years, many more. But these three in particular have enriched my life tremendously. And I am grateful to this church, to you, my beloved friends and family, to our church community. Thank you. Amen.
I invite you now to open your gray hymnals to number 128, For All That Is Our Life. We'll sing verses 1, 2, and 4. Please rise in body or spirit and join your voices with me in song. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks.
Please join me in reading the words to extinguish the chalice found in the order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Let us call on the Spirit that moves among us, below us, above us, and through us. Let us call upon those who have gone before us, who have shown the way, who have been with us as guides and examples. Let us call upon ourselves to imagine, to hope, to dream, and to do, that the future may build upon the past, but not be confined by the past, that the future we imagine will be a new thing. May it be so.
May I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining, almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a word that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret word, like a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A tender lover's smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest to you, oh, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. This is the faith that they invest in you, that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. This is a song